Hi, and welcome to the Maddie Fitness Challenge. This is the yoga session. My name is Dorothy, and this is Kelly, who'll be practicing with us today. So thank you so much for showing up for this challenge, and whether you are an athlete in multiple sports or whether you are a weekend warrior, this is for you. And maybe you'd want to come back to this again and again, because we're going to give you an awesome workout. We're going to work out your whole body, every muscle group in your body, stretch you, strengthen you. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So let's start in the pose of a child. So come to your mat with your toes touching and your knees wide, sending your hips all the way back. Extend your arms forward and then spread your fingers. And take a moment here to settle in, tap into your gratitude practice. I'm a big believer in having a gratitude practice. It really floods your body with serotonin, makes you feel good. So take a moment here to recognize some of the things that you're grateful for in your life. For me here, I am so grateful for this opportunity to be with you for this hour, for the Maddie Fitness Challenge. To know Maddie was to love Maddie. She just was a beautiful spirit who challenged herself in multiple ways. So we're going to challenge ourselves today in yoga. So here we go. So in this practice, we use what we call ujjayi breathing, drawing the breath in through your nose with your mouth closed. And you'll notice that it's kind of a loud, almost considered a snoring breath. So find that breath. It's almost like fogging up a mirror with your nose, if you would. So imagine that you're trying to do that. There's a slight constriction in the back of your throat as you draw the breath in through your nose and then out through your nose. And so one of the things that yoga allows you to do is to create space in your body, first in your skeletal system, in your spine, and then in your musculature system, and then ultimately it allows you to create some space in your thinking, maybe pausing between some thoughts, right? So maybe tap into finding the space between each breath as we move through the practice, and I'll help you with that. Take a big breath in, find that space, that pause, and then breathe out through your nose. Breathing in and breathing out, and then draw your lower belly from your pubic bone to your abdomen. It's called Uddiyana Bandha. It's a gentle lifting in your low abdomen. So ultimately you're working your abs the whole time. And so engage that Uddiyana Bandha, that gentle lock of your low abdomen. And on your next inhale, come up to a tabletop position, stacking your wrists and elbows right underneath your shoulders and your knees right underneath your hips. And take some cat-cow breath here. On your inhale, drop your belly, look forward. And then on your exhale, really rounding your back like a Halloween cat, if you would, drawing your belly button to your spine, and breathe like that. Find your breath. Maybe pausing at the top of that inhale, and then again at the bottom of that exhale, allowing your breath to lead. So with yoga, we always want to let the breath lead the practice and lead your movement. Breathing in and breathing out. And then come to that neutral back. Wiggle your tailbone back. Tuck your chin so the crown of your head comes to the top of your mat. Extend your right leg straight back. And then extend your left arm forward. Drop your right leg in line with that hip. Flex your foot so you're really finding some length there. On your inhale, reach and stretch out, feel that space. And then on your exhale, release and let go and switch sides. Extend your left leg, your right arm forward, breathing here, finding that length in your torso and your body. Breathing in and breathing out. Take another breath in and then release. Switch sides. So again, right leg goes back, left arm forward. Just breathing, moving with your breath. Take Take a breath in. And then so maybe here you could bend that right knee, reach around with your left hand, grab a hold of your ankle. Send your shin back, look forward, you'll feel it opening across your chest. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Another breath in, maybe lift your knee a little high, and then gently release that leg, extend that leg back, extend that arm forward, coming back to that starting position, and switch sides. Left leg goes back, right arm forward, so you're really looking to create that length here first. I know you know where we're going, but stay with me here. Stay with your breath. Take a big breath in and a big sigh. And then bend into that knee. Reach around if it's not available. Stay in that extended position. Find what works for you. It's all about, allowing the words to land in your body. Pressing the ground away from you. Feel that opening. Open up the chest. And then gently, slowly release, coming back to that starting position. Take a big breath in and a big sigh. And then release. Curl your toes under and lift your tailbone for downward facing dog, that upside down V. And then gently walk in place, bending one knee and then the other. Scan your body, how you feel today, and just notice any areas of tightness, looseness. We're going to be working all those nooks and crannies of your body today, so take a breath in, keep sending your hips back. Take a breath in and a breath out. Extend your right leg to the sky, bend your knee, and stack your hips. Keep pressing equally into your hands to square your shoulders. Lift your hips, maybe look underneath that left armpit for your foot in the sky. Open up your toes, spread them wide. Roll that ankle around, just waking up that foot. Waking up the body, squeeze the left thigh. Take a breath in and extend that leg straight back and then step it down. Breathing in and breathing out. Let your inhale take that left leg to the sky. Bend your knee, stack your hips, and open up. It's like a full body stretch, a full body yawn, if you will. Keep squeezing that right thigh, waking up that foot in the sky. Roll that ankle around, spread those toes. Look underneath your right armpit. Maybe you can spot that foot. Lift your knee a little higher, straighten out that left leg, and then step your foot to the ground. Take a breath in, empty all the way. Bend your knees, look forward to the top of your mat, walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift here, find a nice flat back. So you want to be able to squeeze your shoulder blades together, creating a nice flat back. You could actually put, a glass of water there, draw that belly in, and then fold forward. Soft bend in your knees. Grab a hold of your opposite elbows here, and we call this pose ragdoll. So you're just kind of hanging out here, allowing your whole upper torso to just fall over your front thighs. And you can sway from side to side, sway forward to back as you rock into your feet, but then ultimately I want you to find all four corners of your feet, really root down, feel grounded through your feet, a nice solid foundation. Shake your head loose. Take a breath in and then release your hands. Inhale again to that nice flat back. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale and fold forward. Rise all the way up, reach up, and then bring your hands to your heart center. Just pausing here for a moment, feeling the gratitude to be here on your mat through this hour session here at the Maddie Fitness Challenge. Take a look around, appreciative of the space where you're practicing today. Take a big breath in and a big sigh. Release your hands, bend your knees, inhale and sweep up. Exhale and fold all the way down. Halfway lift. high plank and hold high plank. Again, stacking your wrists and elbows right underneath your shoulders, pressing all that energy out through your back heels. Legs are turned on. And just breathe. Building that upper body strength, challenging yourself maybe if this is a bit of a challenge. It's what Maddie would do. Take a breath in and a breath out. Breathing in. Come forward onto your toes. Bend your elbows straight back. Come to low plank. Upward facing dog. Flat to the tops of your feet. Straighten your arms. And downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. A little bit of a vinyasa flow there. Come to high plank. We're going to do that again. To low plank. Upward facing dog. Feel that opening. And downward facing dog. Take it back. Take a breath in. Empty all the way. Look forward. Go to the top of your mat. Here we go. Halfway lift and fold. Rise up, sweep up, look up too, and bow forward. Halfway lift, step back, high to low plank. It's one long exhale. Pause at the bottom. Upward facing dog is an inhale and an opening. Downward facing dog, take it back. Take a breath in, empty out, go to the top of your mat. Halfway lift and fold. Root to rise up, bow forward. Halfway lift, high to low plank, one long exhale, nice and smooth. Upward facing dog, there's your opening. Downward facing dog, take it back. Take a breath in and a big sigh, open up. Keep sending your hips back. Keep pressing into the ground. Fingers are wide, and then come back to here, this as a resting pose. Come back, reconnect to your breath. Take a breath in, empty out, walk or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift and fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit nice and low. So you imagine that you're sitting in a chair. It's not really there. Take a look at your toes. Keep rolling your inner thighs in towards each other. You really want to turn on your legs. You're going to get an awesome lower body workout today. Isometrically squeeze, skin to muscle to bone. And then send your arm bones back. If you have some shoulder issues, you can take cactus arms here, palms facing forward. Imagine now that the wind are pressing your hands back as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. So again, if the pose doesn't work for you, there's modifications. Find what works for you in your low body. Take a breath in and then maybe sit a little lower. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring your hands to your heart center. Take a breath in and then fold forward. Halfway lift, high to low plank. Upward facing dog, take the opening. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward to warrior one and hold warrior one. Right away, anchor into your feet, so your front foot facing forward. Your back foot can be angled. And you're attempting to take that knee right on top of your ankle. Roll it out towards your right pinky toe to open up that inner right thigh. Your lower body's nice and solid, engaging Uddiyana Bandha. See if you can create some space through your side body as you lift out of your hips. You have a space maybe between each rib here. Activate your fingers so they're not just hanging out there. You're really reaching. But notice if your shoulders start to creep up, so relax your shoulders at the same time. Take a breath in and lunge a little deeper. Another breath in, reach up, look up, and then hands down, follow it all the way down, high to low plank. We're going to vinyasa through. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. Use your very next in-breath. Come on up to warrior one and then settle here. Find rest here. Come back to that same foundation of your feet. Nice tracking of that knee. Solid legs. And then just breathe. Use your breath. Remember, we want to allow the breath to lead. Take a breath in. Lunge a little deeper. Another breath in and reach to the sky. And then hands down, high to low plank. Vinyasa through. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a big sigh. Again, coming back to just rest here. Take a breath in, empty out. We're going to put that together now. Another breath in, empty all the way. Bend your knees, look forward, go to the top. Halfway lift and fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Uttanasana, bow forward. Halfway lift up your chest. Step back high to low plank. Complete that exhale. Pause at the bottom. Upward facing dog. Take a breath in. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Warrior one. One breath. Rise up. And then chaturanga. Follow that breath all the way down. Now we're just moving with your breath. Putting it together. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Rise up. Chaturanga Dandasana. Empty out. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Go again, each side on your breath. Follow it all the way out. Open up and take it back. Left side. Use your breath. Take a big breath in, open your mouth and sigh. And let that go, right? Let that go. Come back to this pose, come back to your breath. You know, if ever you find yourself short of breath and you need a break, child pose is available. And then you could come back to the practice wherever we're at. So it's really just working your own body against yourself. And what I love about yoga, really available to all body types, all athleticism. Take a breath in, empty out, bend your knees, look forward, go to the top of your mat, halfway lift and fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Uttanasana, bow forward. Halfway lift, high to low plank. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward to warrior one. And this time open to warrior two. So warrior two, you'll see there's a subtle shift. Kelly's got her hips and her shoulders now squared to the long edge of her mat, that left side of her mat, still tracking that knee on top of that ankle, and her gaze of drishti right over her right middle fingernail, or maybe where it would extend out even further. Find your breath, find rest here. Turn your right palm to the sky, reverse your warrior, legs don't move, so breathe here for a few breaths here, just taking your fingers away from each other. Find a comfortable spot for your neck, either looking down at that back foot or looking up at your thumb. Again, it's about finding what works for you and your body. Maybe lunge a little deeper. You want to activate your inner thighs by attempting to bring your heels together, maybe wrinkling up your mat. Take another breath in. Empty. Reach your fingers and then cartwheel your arms all the way down. Vinyasa through high to low plank. Just moving with your breath. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. your exhales to release and let go. And then settling here. Relax your shoulders. Same cues, anchor into your feet. Take a few breaths here. And then turn your left palm to the sky, reverse your warrior. Legs don't move, so you're still in that nice deep lunge, isometrically squeezing skin to muscle to bone, getting a really nice leg workout here at the same time. You're stretching and strengthening. Take a breath in, lunge a little deeper, extend your fingers to the sky, and then cartwheel all the way down, vinyasa through, high to low plank. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Here we go. Open to warrior two. Reverse warrior. Chaturanga Dandasana. Follow it all the way out. Just moving with breath. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Left foot steps. Rise up. Open up. Reverse it. Chaturanga all the way down. Makes it look easy, doesn't she? Up dog to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Let that go. We like to let shit go around here. We don't take ourselves too seriously, right? Yoga's not designed to make us any more seriously. So one of our favorite words is oops, right? We make a mistake, we just keep going, right? So that's what we're gonna do today, right? You don't take ourselves too serious. Take a big breath in and a big sigh. Extend that right leg to the sky, long behind you. Take a big breath in and then sweep it all the way to your right thumb for crescent lunge. So in crescent lunge, she's going to be on the ball of her back foot, her right foot facing forward. Again, you might find where you have to put your stance, just your feet hip width apart. It brings more stability. If they're too close together, you might feel you're on a tightrope, so find that balance for you. Again, create space through that side body as you lift up, and then bring your hands to your heart center. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, twist to the right. Take that left elbow to your right thigh. Keep pressing your hands together, attempting to stack shoulder over shoulder. Your legs are still active, so press back through that left heel, really turning on your legs. This is really good for your internal organs, giving them a nice rinsing out, releasing all those toxins, clearing out. Use your breath. On your inhale, find some length. On your exhale, it's a tiny little twist of your low ribs towards that right side of your mat. Take a breath in, empty out, and then spiral up, warrior two, flatten your back foot. Take another breath in. Reverse your warrior, and then cartwheel all the way down. Chaturanga, follow that breath. We're going to vinyasa through. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a big sigh. Send your left leg back, nice and high, and sweep it forward for crescent lunge. And move into the other side. So make peace with that. Hands come to your heart center. Remember to use your breath. Find the breath that works for you. And on your next exhale, you're going to twist to the left. Activate that right leg. Keep pressing that right heel back. Attempting to wring out and rinse out. Breathing in and breathing out. It really is that simple a practice. Right? You never want to muscle through a yoga practice. You want to allow the breath to lead you through the practice. Breathing in and breathing out. Another breath in. Empty out. Warrior two. Spiral up. Find your footing. Reverse. cartwheel all the way down, high to low plank. Up dog is your in-breath. Down dog, exhale. Take a big breath in and open your mouth and sigh. Nice job. Thank you, Kelly. Nice job. Keep pressing the floor away. Take another breath in. Send your hips back. Bend your knees, look forward, and go to the top of your mat. Halfway lift and fold. And then rise all the way up, sweep up. We're going to move into some balance poses here. And it always comes with a bit of a challenge, how to balance. Balance comes with practice. So we're coming into eagle pose here. Take your right arm under and your right leg over. So you're going to bend into that standing knee. Cross your right knee on top. And then once you're here, find your gaze, right? Find something maybe on the ground or eye level that's not moving. If you're looking all around, you're going to be a little scattered and a little bit off balance. So find what works for you to keep you here. Remember, if you wiggle and wobble and fall out, you just got to laugh. Oops. And then come back to it, right? Tighten everything up. Lift your elbows, shoulder height. Send your forearms forward. Take another breath in. Sit a little lower. And then just gently release out. Sweep up. And come to eagle pose on the other side. Your left arm comes under. Your left leg comes over. And I'm just challenge you to notice how you come into this pose. Remember, we're leading with our breath, allowing your breath to lead. Stacking shoulders over your hips, right over that standing foot. And balance comes with practice, so if that left ankle is wobbling a little bit, it's just those tiny little muscle fibers just working to balance you, right? Just keep coming back to it and practicing. If you're inside and you are near a wall, you can reach out and use the wall. And then release out, sweep up. And come to mountain pose. So mountain pose, you're standing with your feet 2 fists apart, squeezing your inner thighs, rolling them in behind you. Standing nice and straight. Bring your shoulders up to your ears and then drop them down your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then gently shift the weight into your left leg and lift your right leg. You could extend your leg and then bend your knee. Extend and bend it. Notice if you started to lean back, so bring your sternum forward, again, stacking, right? And then take your knee or your big toe, and you're going to open that knee to the right and your gaze over your left shoulder. So your left arm can come out or come to your hips, whatever works for you to balance. Take your inner right thigh and roll it up towards the sky, the external rotation of your thigh. You'll feel an opening across your chest as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. An opening across your hips. And then come back to center. Reach everything up. And then fly back, Dekasana, airplane pose. Lift your right leg as high as your torso. Keep reaching your fingers back like you're trying to reach behind you. Bring your hands to your heart center. Maybe pause here, see if that brings any stability to your pose for you. And then slowly step out. Shake that out. Let that side go. Because we're moving to the other side. So gently shift the weight to your right foot. Lift your left leg. Find some balance here first, because you know we're going to move. So then you can bend that knee, straighten that leg, bend it, straighten it, and then finally bend it. Take that knee or your big toe, if you've got access to that, grab a hold of your big toe, open to the left, your gaze over your right shoulder. Stand strong in that right leg. So the crown of your head, again, we want to create that space in your spine. Open up and breathe. center, reach everything up, and then fly back, Dekasana, airplane pose. Heart leads forward here. Hands come to your heart center. And then step out, step out. Ha! Shake that out. Ha! We're coming into, let's do one more balance pose here. Let's come into dancer pose on the right side. So extend your left arm to the sky. Take your right arm out to grab the inside of your right foot or your ankle. Again, you want to find some balance here. Bring your knees together and find some balance here. And then when you're ready and stable, you can send that knee back, send that shin back, extend that arm forward. Take that left shoulder blade back though a little bit. Tighten up that bow by sending your shin back, lifting nice and high. Inhale and lift up. And as you exhale, slowly come on up. Go to the other side. Beautiful. Dancer pose, left side. Your right arm comes up. Your left arm comes out. Move with breath. Let your inhale lift you up. Let your exhale open up that bow a little bit more. You fall out, just come back. Okay, and release, release. Come to the front of your mat. Bend your knees. Inhale and sweep up. Exhale and fold forward. Halfway lift. Step back high to low plank. We're going to vinyasa through. If this is too much, you could take it out. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. As always, if that vinyasa through, those planks are too much, you can just meet us in downward facing dog. But I would challenge you to do it. It's going to build your upper body strength, right? It's what Maddie would do. Take a breath in. Empty out. Step your right foot forward to warrior one. And open to warrior two. We're coming into triangle pose now, so you're going to straighten that right leg, send your hips all the way back as you reach towards the top of your mat, as far as you can go, and then that right arm comes down to your shin, your ankle, and again, you want to imagine that you're stacking hip over hip, lung over lung, like you're in between two panes of glass, creating these big giant triangles. And breathe. Take a breath in. Inhale and exhale. Another breath in. Hey, sorry. Can you go get him? Who that is? Sorry. Take a breath in. Empty out. And then stand up. Square your hips towards the long side of your mat. Bring your toes to touch. Your heels further apart. Your toes are closer. Interlace your hands behind your back. Draw your knuckles and shoulders down as you lift up. And then hinge and fold forward. Hinge from your hips. Prasrita. Take another breath in. Empty out. Release your hands. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, fold. Stand all the way up. And then square your hips towards the front of your mat. Your right foot facing forward, but your left foot again, hip width apart. Interlace your hands, this time in front of you. Lift your arms up and overhead And then hinge and fold forward. Sending your hips back. See, drinking out of your water bottle. Reach, reach, reach forward. Runners, stretch, squeeze your inner thighs in towards each other. Getting a nice leg workout here. Anchor into this back heel. And pull forward. Take a breath in and a breath out. Release your hands. Inhale to your flat back and step back, high to low plank. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward to warrior one. Open to warrior two. Coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose on this left side. So you're going to extend this leg, straighten it out, send your hips back, reach, reach, reach forward, and come into triangle pose. Stacking long over long. Nice big opening across the front side body. Breathing in and breathing out. Another breath in. Empty. Stand all the way up. This time we're coming into goddess pose. So goddess pose, your heels are closer, your toes are out. You're attempting to take your knees right over your ankles. Roll your inner thighs up towards the sky. Your hands can come like cactus arms. Sit nice and low. And maybe you can sway from side to side here, but you want to keep your hips on one level. Coming back to that center position. Maybe you could lift the heel one at a time. Keeping your hips on one level plane. You know, if this is too much, just stay here. Sit a little lower and stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Square your hips to the front of the mat. We're coming into that runner's lunge. On the other side, you can take the same bind that you took before or a different bind. Again, finding length through that side body as you lift and lengthen, and then hinge and fold forward. Really sending your hips back, squeezing your inner thighs together, just like scissors closing. So your legs really nice and solid here. Allow your head to drop. And again, exhale. Use your exhales to release maybe any tension that's built up or any judgment about a dog licking your water bottle maybe. We'll have to remember that, Kelly. Don't lick that. Release your hands. Inhale to your nice flat back. Bring that spine in your body. And step back, high to low plank, or just take this out completely and meet us in downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a big exhale, sigh. Ha. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, this is a fitness challenge, everyone, right? Ha. Come to high plank, to low plank, to high plank, low plank, high plank, downward facing dog. Come to high plank. Bring your right knee to your right elbow and send it back. Bring your left knee to your left elbow and send it back. Right side and back. Left side and back. One more time each side. Downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, open your mouth. Let that go. And come to high plank, to low plank, right to your mat. Lie down on your mat. Turn your head to one side. See if you can press the whole of your ear from the top of your ear to the bottom of your lobe. Press that against your mat. You'll get a little bit of a neck stretch here. And then turn your head to the other side. Completely rest here on your mat. Never lasts long enough. Right? Because we are going to keep moving. So bring your forehead to the mat. Interlace your hands behind your back. Bring your knuckles towards your feet, your toes to touch. On your next inhale, lift everything up off the mat. We're coming into locust pose. And breathe here. Use your breath. Find that length in your torso. On your inhale, lift up. Stay here. Take another breath in, lift up, and slowly come on down. Release out of that. Take a breath in and a breath out. Now bend your knees. Reach around, grab a hold of your ankles. We're coming into Dhanurasana, low pose. On your very next inhale, come on up. Come on up. Send your shins to the back of your mat. Maybe you can flex your feet. Stamp the soles of your feet to the sky. Try to keep a one-notch bend in your elbows here, allowing your forearms and your muscles to do the work for you. Lift up, 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 and then slowly come on down. Windshield wiper your shins back and forth. And we're going to come up to that pose one more time. Low pose. Lift up, up, and slowly come on down. Windshield wipe your shins back and forth. And then curl your toes under, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Integrate your whole body now, every muscle, and press right back up into a high plank. To downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a big sigh. And then walk your feet towards the front of your mat. Come onto your backs. We're going to come into a couple of more back bends here. So this one is called bridge pose. If you walk your feet close in, roll your shoulder blades under one at a time as you interlace your hands underneath your butt. Press into your shoulders, into your feet, and lift your hips to the sky. So energetically, you're still looking to create that length in your spine. So send your tailbone up behind your knees. You can roll your inner thighs in towards each other. Back bends are really all in your legs. So press into your legs to send your hips high. Take a breath in, lift, 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 and then slowly lower one vertebra at a time. Take a breath in and a breath out. Use your very next inhale to come on up, bridge pose. Come on up. Pressing into your feet, into your shoulders, finding that length. Engaging Uddiyana Bandha. So all of your breath is really in your upper thoracic in a pose like this. So your chest should be bellowing towards your nose here. You're engaging your core. Lift, 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 and then slowly come on down. Take another breath in and empty out. And come back up. Use your very next breath. Maybe a wheel is in your practice. You could take a wheel, bringing your hands behind you. Come on up, pressing into your feet for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck your chin. Come on down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together. Bring your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly. Just pausing for a moment here to feel your heartbeat, feel your breath. that. Maybe slow your heart rate down, use your breath. And then bring your knees in, give them a good squeeze. Maybe rock from side to side. You want to release your low back here, kind of come into a little bit of some ab work here. Extend your legs to the sky. Bring your hands underneath your sacrum for support here. Flex your feet, and then lower your legs 1/3 of the way down. Keep drawing your belly button to your mat, but relax your neck and shoulders, relax your face. Lower them another 1/3 of the way down. Keep pressing through with your heels, energizing, activating that belly. And maybe lower them 2 inches. And then here, take your legs wide, open them wide, and then bring them back together. Open and close. Open and close. One more time. Open and close. And then as you slowly lift your legs back up, nice and slow, really using your core here to work for you. Nice job. And then bring them in, give them a good squeeze. Release that, let that go. And then send your legs to the sky. This time bring your toes to touch, your heels are apart. You've got that internal rotation of your thighs. Activate your thighs. Lower them 1/3 of the way. Pause here, hold here, check out whether you're bringing tension anywhere else in your body. Lower them another 1/3 of the way. Use your breath. 2 inches. Stay here. Maybe you want to lift your head, look at your toes. And then bring your knees in and give them a good squeeze. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. And since you're here, take 3 full body rocks, front to back. Find your way into boat pose, Navasana. This is another pose you can get big bang for your buck here. Bodhi.
He likes the boat.
Bodhi likes the boat pose. So boat pose, you're in that seated V. Again, you really want to work your core here. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. You can keep your knees bent or you can extend your legs. Maybe you want to tap one foot to the ground here. One at a time. Work your core for 5, 4. He's going to start to play now. 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to that boat pose. Bring your knees in and roll back down. Ha, ha, ha. And you take 3 full body rocks, front to back. Roll over your knees. Find your way into downward facing dog. Coming back to this pose. Extend your right leg. And then sweep it to your right thumb. We're coming into half pigeon. So you're going to toe heel your foot all the way over to the right side of your mat. Allow your knee to fall to the right, in line with the right side of your mat. Keep your heart nice and high here, and then slowly walking forward. Perhaps coming onto your forearms or dropping onto your forehead. This is a hip opener, and it could be very sensational pose for you. So this right shin becomes your sensation lever. You know, ideally 90-degree angle. If that's too much, bring this foot closer to your groin. If you're not feeling it, you know, you want to bring your shin a little bit more towards the top of your mat. This is where we say that the rubber meets the road in your practice. So you want to be able to stay on your mat in this pose, noticing what you're feeling in this pose. If you're not feeling enough, you're going to be bored. You're going to be you to stay right here. You came here to feel something, so make sure you find that sweet spot that keeps you right here with your breath. Maybe it's a bit of a challenge. That's what we want. That's what we're here for. Stay with your breath. Again, finding that length as you send your hips back, reach forward. Take a breath in. And then to come out, you want to slowly walk your hands back by your hips. Lift your heart high. Curl your toes under on that left leg and maybe send that right leg to the sky in that three-legged dog, bending your knees, stacking your hips. You know, find what works for you to release out of that side. Coming back to that downward facing dog, maybe pedaling it out a little bit because we've got to do this on the other side. And when you're ready, just extend that left leg high to the sky. Sweep it towards your left thumb. Toe heel it over to that right side of your mat. Coming into half pigeon on the left side. And take your time, move into this pose with breath. Toe heel your right leg to the middle of your mat. Send it long behind you. Lift your heart high. And then slowly come onto your mat. Come into the pose. Yeah, we feel a lot. We store a lot of that emotional baggage in our hips. So hips can be very sensational. So if you're feeling that, that's good. That's exactly what we want you to feel here. And just breathe into it. Take your breath right to where you're feeling that the most. And then let your inhale swirl around. And then as you exhale, release and let go. This is a great place to maybe count your breath in groups of 5 or 10 if you get distracted, which, you know, when we hold a longer pose like this, it does require maybe a bit of a different kind of a strength. There's that physical strength that we have as we move through the pose, but, you know, this maybe requires a little bit of a different kind of strength where we're asking to stay and hold the pose. Right? So look for that. Take a couple more breaths here. Come on out. You want to walk your hands back by your hips, nice and easy. Lift your heart high. Curl your toes under on that right leg. Step back to that three-legged dog. Or any other way that feels good. Come out of it. Take a big breath in and a big sigh. And then walk your feet to your hands. Come all the way onto your backs. Lie down on your mat. Extend your legs. And bring your right knee in and give it a good squeeze. Maybe pause, squeeze. Maybe, you know, take it to your right armpit, to the outside of your torso, just a little bit here as you create a little bit of resistance, like you're attempting to stamp the sole of that foot to the front of the mat. And then when you're ready, drop your right arm to your mat, and with your left hand, take that knee across your body for your supine twist. Keeping both shoulders on the mat. Nice gentle twist here. Stay with your breath. Relax. And then come back to center. Give that knee a nice squeeze in. Then switch sides. Again, you want to pause to create that resistance. And then when you're ready, take your twist. Stacking hip over hip, but keeping both shoulders on the floor. Your head may turn to gaze over that left shoulder so you feel that nice stretch. And just allow your body to relax. Breathe into it. And then come back to center, bring that knee in, give it a good squeeze. And then take Shavasana. So Shavasana is the last pose of a corpse, right? So you want to bring your hands out with your palms facing up to receive the gifts of the universe. And this pose allows a complete relaxation. So there's nothing to do and nowhere to go. Completely relax. So scan your body from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head. Relax. Relax your shins. Relax your thighs. Soften your belly. Relax your shoulders. Your face. Soften your tongue. And then slowly bring some movement into your fingers and toes. Begin to deepen your breath. Take your arms overhead. Take a full body stretch here. Just feeling the space that you've just created in your whole body. And then bend your knees. Bring them in, give them a good hug, and roll over to your right side, all curled up in that fetal position. Just pausing here for a moment, noticing how you feel. And then slowly make your way up to a comfortable seat on your mat. Keep your eyes gently closed here, so you're just savoring these last few breaths of your practice. You've done the hard work. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe your hands come to your knees. Take your right ear to your right shoulder, and then drop your head down towards the center, coming over your left ear to your left shoulder. Take your shoulder away from your ear though here, and then come back, drop your head back to center, come up to the other side. And then one more time, left side. And then coming back up to center. Bring your hands to your heart center. This is prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. This is a great place to set an intention for the rest of your day. If you've done this early morning, maybe you have a few other sessions that you're going to go to today. Perhaps coming back to your gratitude practice. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to be here through this hour session with you. Thank you, Kelly, for being a great model student for us. Thank you to the Maddie Foundation to organize this whole event for us, this wonderful event. Take a big breath in and a big sigh. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Dorothy.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Faith, Megan.